When a chosen one stops having sex, the spirit realm doesn't stay silent. It shifts. It shakes. Demons start whispering. Lust spirits are deployed. Temptations multiply overnight. Why? Because hell knows what's coming. A consecrated chosen one is not just avoiding pleasure, they're awakening power. You think it's just celibacy? No. It's a declaration of war, and the kingdom of darkness knows it. When a chosen one shuts that door, something ancient opens. Divine clarity, prophetic authority, an anointing that cannot be faked. That's why you're under attack. That's why the dreams changed. That's why the pressure increased. Because your purity is prophecy. And hell always panics when prophecy starts walking. So if you've been wondering why it got harder after you stopped, stay with me. Because what you're about to hear will explain the warfare, unlock the wisdom, and remind you exactly who you are. If you're already on this journey, or ready to step in, like this video and comment 99 right now. 9 is the number of divine finality, and double 9 means your past is finished, your consecration is complete. Let's go deeper. They told you your body is a temple, but they never told you what kind of temple. Not one made for incense and quiet songs, but one forged for fire, for warfare, for glory. Corinthians 6:19 doesn't say your body is a decoration for God. It says it is a dwelling place of His Spirit, and wherever the Spirit of God dwells, there is power, there is battle, there is victory. When a chosen one stops giving their body to sin, something supernatural happens. You're no longer just worshiping God with your body. You're weaponizing it. Every no you speak to the flesh is a sword unsheathed in the spirit. Every desire you deny is a dagger against the plans of hell. Every time you choose solitude over seduction, you're not isolating, you're consecrating. Heaven does not anoint comfort, it anoints sacrifice. And your body, when surrendered, becomes a living altar where fire never goes out. This is why hell sends distractions dressed as desire. Because if your body ever aligns fully with heaven's purpose, you won't just survive, you'll invade. Imagine a warrior in prayer, knees on the ground, eyes on eternity, no noise, no crowd, just divine alignment. That's what hell fears. Not someone who claims holiness, but someone who embodies it. Because holiness isn't softness, it's sharp, precise, dangerous. A chosen one walking in purity isn't harmless. They're unstoppable. And if you think your battle ends with self-control, you haven't seen what's coming when your body, your mind, and your spirit unite under divine command. Stay with me. The next truth will shatter what you thought you knew about your own power. There's a power hidden behind purity that few ever tap into. Not the kind that makes noise, but the kind that makes history. Every time a chosen one says no to temptation, heaven doesn't just applaud, it responds with more clarity, more authority, more spiritual access. Because every no is not just resistance, it's permission. Permission for heaven to trust you, to elevate you, to send angels on your behalf. You think you're just holding back from sex, but in the spirit you're sharpening a sword. And with each strike of self-control, that sword gleams brighter, sharper, deadlier to darkness. The devil isn't afraid of people who pray, he's afraid of people who obey. And there's no deeper act of obedience in a lust-driven world than choosing purpose over pleasure. Look at Joseph. He wasn't just running from Potiphar's wife, he was running toward destiny. That moment of escape, that wasn't weakness. That was the divine unlocking of elevation. Because what looked like loss in the natural was setting him up for rulership in the spiritual. And it's the same with you. When you say no to the bed of sin, you're saying yes to the throne of purpose. You're not just resisting, you're rising. And every demon assigned to your fall starts to panic when they see your consistency. Because now they know, you're not just aware of your calling, You're becoming worthy of it. But here's the twist. What if I told you that hell has been studying your purity not just to fight it, but to hijack it? Don't move. The truth you're about to hear next is what Satan never wanted you to discover. Hell doesn't just notice your sexual energy. It tracks it. It studies it. It fears what it could become if fully surrendered to God. Because sexual energy is sacred. It was never meant to be wasted. It was designed to create life, legacy, covenant. And anything that holds the power to create has the power to destroy if misused. That's why the moment a chosen one chooses celibacy, there's a shift in the invisible. Demons are assigned. Not to kill you, but to distract you, to seduce you, to drain you. You think it's just lustful thoughts out of nowhere? Just normal dreams that feel too vivid? Just random old flings hitting you up again? No. Those are spiritual operations. Coordinated attacks from demonic entities. Incubus and succubus spirits don't come for the rebellious. They come for the righteous, for the ones who decided to shut every door and light a fire instead. Have you ever noticed how the warfare increases right after you make the decision to stay pure? The dreams get darker. The temptation gets stronger. Even your own body feels like it's betraying you. That's not just biology. That's warfare. Because sexual purity is more than abstinence. It's possession of sacred power. And demons don't attack what isn't dangerous. They want your energy. They want your focus. They want your fire. Because if you ever learn how to contain it and not leak it, you won't just resist hell. You'll outrank it. But the enemy has one final card to play, one last tactic to twist your strength into a curse. And most chosen ones fall for it without even knowing. Don't blink. Because what I'm about to reveal might just expose the trap you've been sleeping in. They laugh at celibacy, call it weakness, call it fear, call it repression. But that's only because they don't understand warrior discipline. This generation celebrates indulgence. Follow your feelings. Do what feels good. Live your truth. But what if your feelings are a trap? What if pleasure isn't the destination, but the distraction? The world wants you drunk on dopamine, numb to conviction, addicted to escape. But chosen ones, we are not raised in comfort. We are forged in consecration. Celibacy is not hiding. It's training. It's what a soldier does in silence while the rest of the world is partying. It's what a king does in the wilderness before wearing a crown. It's what David did with sheep before facing Goliath. You think you're missing out. You're being built up. Because when you abstain, you're not suppressing desire. You're redirecting it. You're taking your hunger and offering it on the altar. You're telling God, not my will, not my timing, not my flesh, but yours. And in return, He gives you authority. Not just to say no to sin, but to command atmospheres, to discern spirits, to break generational curses with a whisper. There is power hidden in the quiet of self-denial. The kind of power that can't be bought. The kind that makes demons nervous before you even open your mouth. Because when you've mastered your own body, nothing else owns you. And here's what the world will never tell you. Celibacy isn't the absence of intimacy. It's the presence of alignment. And once you're aligned with heaven, you become a walking weapon. But even weapons need direction. Even fire needs focus. And in the next few seconds, you're about to discover what truly happens when that fire stops burning in secret and starts igniting destiny in public. Hell doesn't fear your looks. Hell doesn't fear your money. Hell doesn't even fear your talent. Hell fears your focus. Because when a chosen one stops chasing flesh and starts chasing fire, real power awakens. No more fog. No more confusion. No more back and forth with sin. When the noise of desire dies, the voice of God gets louder. When distractions fall away, divine instructions rise up. That's when your prayers shift from survival to strategy. Your worship turns from routine to revelation. Your walk goes from lukewarm to lethal. The devil doesn't fear your muscles. He fears your consecration. Because a consecrated chosen one doesn't react. They command. They don't beg God for scraps. They enforce heaven's will on earth. And that kind of focus? It comes when lust is no longer the lens you see through. It comes when the fire inside burns hotter than anything outside. It comes when you realize that purity isn't the end goal. Purpose is. You weren't born to blend in. You weren't born to scroll endlessly through temptation. You were born to see clearly, to move precisely, to strike spiritually. That's why the war for your focus is so intense. Because the enemy knows, if you ever get locked in, if you ever fully align, if you ever stop falling for counterfeit connections, you become unshakable, undeniable, unstoppable. And right now you're closer than you think, because the final key, the one that ties all of this together, is not just about celibacy. It's about what happens after. What happens when a chosen one becomes fully awakened, and what I'm about to tell you next could mark the beginning of the most powerful chapter of your life. Chosen one. This wasn't just a video. This was a divine reminder. Your celibacy isn't a loss. It's a signal to heaven and a threat to hell. When you stopped giving your body to sin, you didn't lose power. You unlocked it. You stepped out of the cycle. You broke the pattern. You silenced the seduction. And now, you walk not just as a believer, but as a warrior with clear vision, unshakable focus, and heaven's fire in your bones. Demons don't tremble at noise. They tremble at purity, at discipline, at consecration. So hear this like a prophetic decree. You are not soft. You are not weak. You are set apart. And the warfare you've endured, it's proof of your calling. The world won't understand. But heaven has already marked you. So stay pure, stay sharp, stay dangerous to darkness. Because every time you say no to the flesh, hell shakes, demons scatter, and purpose gets louder. If this word spoke to your soul, drop it in the comments right now and declare it. I am set apart, like this video. Share it with another warrior. Subscribe. Turn on notifications, because chosen one, this is only the beginning, and your fire is just getting started.